So thank you, everybody. And I would like to take this opportunity and invite our two panelists. That is Dr. Mukuria from Salama Pharmaceuticals, who is the MD, and also our other colleague to this great meeting. That is Dr. Kochenda. And I think everybody is over there. Now, as entrepreneurs, we do a lot of work that is ensuring that the country has got enough stocks of medicines, and not only enough stocks of medicines, but we also ensure that we have enough outlets which have been designed in the right way. Apart from that, there are also issues of prices and all that. Well, the retail sector is the face of community pharmacy because this is the one that provides the area where patients and the pharmacists are able to meet. Retail chemists in this country have been in existence for as way back as 1954. We do recall that the first African set up a retail chemist in Kenya was Dr. Evans Jogu, who had set up a facility along Moi Avenue. That was Chemitex. As years went by, and at that particular time, most of the people in pharmacy were Europeans and people of the Asian origin. But we have seen the practice of pharmacy today, it has completely changed. And we have got a lot of Africans who have come in at the retail level, at the wholesale level, at the distribution level, and quite a number of them have moved up a notch higher, and they have set up manufacturing facilities. In actual fact, Sphinx Pharmaceuticals, which was a branch of Omaira Pharmaceuticals, these were among the first Africans to set up a drug manufacturing facilities somewhere in Ebakasi. And we all know that investment in pharmacy is not a small thing. It calls for resources. And apart from that, the thing that saves the pharmaceutical business in Kenya is that we get out of credit facilities. So it's not a must that you must have cash to operate your own pharmacy. And as such, I would like now to engage Dr. J.K. Mukuria, if he's over there, so that we can start with him as he takes us through his walk through the journey of pharmacy in Kenya as an entrepreneur. So Dr. Mukuria, please join us on board and take this opportunity to tell us what was your experience as you have walked through the journey of retail pharmacy as an entrepreneur. And today, we have got almost a branch institution here, number 10, and they are doing very, very well. Share with us your experience. Thank
you. Yes, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Murisho. We started the pharmacy sometime back in 1994. And we started in a place called Kawangware. The idea of starting at Kawangware was the resources were few. We didn't have a lot of money, and also credit was difficult to get. So we had to choose a place where it was easy to start in terms of infrastructure and also in terms of demands. Kawangware being a relatively informal sector with very many people, high population, and also not well served in terms of hospitals and the like, and also not well served in terms of insurances. So it was a good area to start, and I would still encourage young entrepreneurs who would like to start pharmacy look for an area where you have high population. Kenya is such that we do not have the benefits available in developed countries where people have insurances. So people have to do out-of-pocket expense for their healthcare. And as a pharmacist, you have a very good opportunity because most people will come to the pharmacy first for their health needs. And therefore, you are at a very good position to sort out most of the health issues. I believe over 70% of the health issues in the society can be met at pharmacy level. And that is a great business opportunity. And that is what we wrote on. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mukuria, for that. Now, the other point I would like you to elaborate on is I mentioned earlier that the pharmacy business in Kenya is basically credit, whereby you go and look for a good wholesaler. We have all of them, we have 30 farms, we have got Transwide, we have got Omaira, we have got Mira, and all of them. And you get goods from them, trade with them. What are the challenges and the advantages of this type of asset? Yeah, whereby people have to get credit and then pay back later. Dr. Mukuria.
Well, I will say that it's a big advantage for retailers because when you have many distributors who are willing to supply to retailers, it is a wonderful thing, and people should take advantage of that. Although it is a challenge to the distributors in that they give out their goods, and collection is a very, very difficult task. And we have very, very many startups who start up, and initially they are doing very well, they are getting their supplies right, but soon they start thinking that the money in their pockets belong to them, and they start doing other things, like especially going into real estate, thinking that the money is theirs, and they're doing other things. And very soon you find the people who are doing very well, they soon go under because the distributor will also not watch around. They'll have to come knocking. They will come for you, and very soon you will see receivers at your doorsteps. So
Then,
the biggest challenge for distributors is that one of the collections. How do they get paid back their money? That's a problem.
The other issue that you normally have challenge is how do you control your stock? How do you minimize theft in your practice, Dr. Mukuria?
Hello.
Hello, we are hearing you.
Yes, how do we control stocks? Yes, that is a very, very difficult area. As a retailer, that is the nightmare. Controlling stocks. Controlling stocks has two aspects. Number one, it is in terms of making sure you are not making losses in terms of pilferage. The other one is controlling stock to make sure that you do not get expired products on your shelf. Those are very tricky issues. You need to have personnel with you who are very good, who are very sharp, who have it in their minds that they want to protect against theft, against pilferage, and they want to protect against expiries. And of course, stock control also to make sure that you have available what is necessary at any one time, so that you do not have excess of this and none of the other. That is a kind of challenge that we have.
No, my other point of clarification from you is that we have about 40 to 45 local manufacturers. But we are going to say that despite Kenya having 42 local manufacturers in pharmaceuticals, why are we still relying so much on imported generic medicine? Does it mean that Kenyans do not have faith in the locally manufactured products, or what is this challenge? Please tell us, as someone who has been in this for so many years. We have seen the local manufacturing states are coming up, but despite it coming up, they are still overrelying so much on imported products, especially the generics from India, China, Bangladesh, in all the other countries?
I believe it is really a question of the stage of development that our country has reached. If you look at a company like Cosmos, and I keep quoting it, Cosmos seems to have gotten their act right. Although, you know, when Cosmos started, they also had very serious problems. They used to make cotrimoxazole, which you open the tin and you find they have molds. I had such an experience with them when I was superintending at one of the district hospitals. But today they have had their act right because of the many years in the industry. And now, if you come to the pharmacies, you find the shelves are almost full with the Cosmos products. They've been able to get it right in terms of design, in terms of the product itself. Because Kenyans appear to be very interesting people. They want to see a nice package. They want to, the nice packaging is also a statement of quality. And Cosmos is one company that seems to have got it right. And I wish now that all the other local manufacturers would follow suit. Let them go and copy what these people are doing. And once they do that, I believe that our local industry is now getting of age. We are getting there. It's a matter of development.
What about in terms of prices? If you have to compare the prices of imports and the prices of local manufacturers, are there any challenges? Are there any differences?
I will take the example of Cosmos again, and I'll tell you that Cosmos is doing it right in terms of pricing as well. They are able to compete very effectively with the imported products. But then there comes the other challenge that even though they are doing it, they still have to compete in the field. You know, you cannot stop people from importing. It is an issue of competition. And they are able now to edge out some of the imported products. And it is two things, quality and price. They are able to do that. So the other local manufacturers can still do it. And I don't even think government has any role here in terms of controls. It's a matter of competition, getting your act right, and it is possible. Although there is the other issue that the range of products you find outside there in India, for example, they have a very wide range, a very wide range of products, which we say, which every now and again we shall require. Our country to get there will take time, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Now, what has been your experience in terms of people moving up the ladder? I mean, you start as a retailer, you go to a wholesaler, you go to a distributor, and then you end up as a manufacturer. What is your experience? Or is there any future or any hope that people will eventually leave retail and go into manufacturing? Tell us your experience.
Yeah, good.
I know you started a company called the Concept, and how is Concept after it has been here now for about 10 years?
Yeah, thank you. It is progression actually. It's just like the way a child grows when he's born. So as a retailer, you grow, you become a wholesaler. Then you proceed, you become a distributor, and after that, it's easy to go to manufacturing. We have seen it with the likes of Omaira. They started as a retailer somewhere in Gumo, and many others in that category. Salama too joined hands with several people, and we started what is called Concepts Manufacturing, Concepts Africa. That was a novel local manufacturing company. It's still going on, but after some deliberations, we realized that we were too many in that company. We were 10 pharmacists. And 10 pharmacists, I can tell you, most of the time you cannot agree. Yeah. Sometimes it has taught me another lesson that if you want to do a joint venture, don't just bring pharmacists alone together. It's good to bring in other disciplines so that you are able to balance and you do not collide too much.
So are you telling us in that there's still future in terms of partnership or people getting together?
Yeah.
Or what has been the experience? Because the experience you've had is that you're going to make people come together after 2, 3, or 4 years. They have already separated, has gone on his own ways with very, very serious experience. What's your take on
that? I think it is good to have, instead of a homogeneous mix, a heterogeneous mix is better. Yeah, in terms of if you are pharmacists, you people, you only know one thing. You need to bring into that kind of partnership other disciplines. For example, people who are good in finance, people who are good in marketing, people who are good in sourcing of funds, people who are good in this or the other. So if you really want to do a good partnership, pharmacists only, my experience is no, I doubt highly. It's not. I've not seen it working well.
Okay. And then now, Dr. Mukuria, you have really specialized in one field. This is what we call a niche market. This is anti-cancer, importation of anti-cancer medicine. Tell us something about the sense of the anti-cancer medicine in this country. And what made you specialize so much in the anti-cancer area?
Okay, way back, especially in the early 2000s, those years, it was very, very difficult to fill an oncology prescription. You would find somebody walking around pharmacies with a prescription, doxorubicin, ifosfamide, and those things were simply not there. The only drugs available were by these Akina Roche and the like, and they were literally out of reach. And that is the time we started thinking, why are we suffering like this? Why can't we fill in these prescriptions? Then I just decided, let us have talks with the Pharmacy and Poisons Board so that they allow the parallel importation of these special molecules. And I was among the first people who started now bringing the oncology drugs using that method. And the moment we did that, when we were able to fill prescriptions, the market started growing. The oncologists started now improving. The oncologists gained confidence. And today, the oncologists in this country will tell you that there is no problem at all in terms of access to oncology medicines. And that is purely a result of our early initiative in terms of asking the Pharmacy and Poisons Board to allow for that particular window, to allow for the importation of those molecules using the para importation window of opportunity.
And finally, Dr. Mukuria, there's a trend we have noticed. You remember about a month back, we heard about the COVID millionaires and all that.
Yeah.
And when we looked at the list of the people who are supplying all those things to KEMSA, I did not see any chemist or anybody I knew. It was just basically business entities, enterprises, and all that. That was basically KEMSA. Are you people having a similar challenges when you are supplying tenders? Probably National Hospital, KEMSA, other big institutions such as the military, Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital, and all that. That's something about the experiences, the big tenders.
Well, that is a very challenging question because I also keep asking myself, if when people are walking in the Nairobi city with the prescriptions, they know where to get drugs is the names that you find along Accra Road or downtown. How come then when we come to tenders, you don't find their names there? And I can tell you, we have participated in those tenders, and it's always very difficult. You find that when the tender has been opened and whatever adjudication, you're always say a regret letter is sent. You are told, oh, you did not attach your BFARM certificate. Oh, you did not attach this. Very funny explanations. But I believe that that is another area of politics. It is, Yani, when you get those big tenders, you have entered now into political waters. And I think at the level of retail and wholesale, at the level where we are working as professionals, it is an area, or those are waters that have not been charted. Maybe in future or moving forward in future, we should also try to get to those areas. But I can tell you that is now that is a political terrain. It has nothing to do with professionalism or business. That is political terrain, completely pure and simple. It has nothing to do with entrepreneurship. That is my take on it. Yours, that's a different ballgame.
Okay, thank you. Finally, Dr. Mukulia.
That's political terrain.
Okay. Yes, we will venture into it one day. And finally, Dr. Mukulia, you mentioned about parallel importation.
Yeah.
Tell us about parallel importation and how it has benefited Kenyans. And as you talk about that, as a sector, we have had quite a number of challenges. That there has been quite a number of fights between probably the regulator, the National Quality Control Laboratory. We have the fight between the farm tech, the pharmacists, and all that. Can you summarize as we talk about that?
Hello.
Yes.
Now, I will say this about parallel importation. That is, it is an opportunity that has helped this country, especially like I have explained to you, to develop the oncology sector. Now you will be. I have information that if big pharma like Roche, like Novartis, and what have you, they have come later to follow in the footsteps on the path that we created, and now they are saying that they want to have an access program for oncology drugs into the country, because they have realized that the generics, the Indian generics, which have found their way into Kenya through parallel importation, have taken over the market, and now they are very expensive ones are not finding space. We are talking about the differences in pricing, where you find a prescription an oncology prescription using the Indian branded generics would cost like 6,000 shillings. But when you take it to Roche, when you use Roche and Sanofi and the like, when you use those high brands, the prescription changes from 6,000 to 120,000. That is what we see. But now they have also seen the sense, and now they are talking about access. So the greatest benefit of parallel importation is creating sense and bringing sense to people, in the sense that disease does not choose. It does not choose that you are in Muthaiga. It does not choose you are in Korogosho. It does not choose wherever you are. Disease is disease. So when somebody is unwell, they need medication. We don't want to be told that no, only Roche can bring this product, and this product is 120,000. How about this person here who cannot afford it? And there is a product and we know it, and it's available in India, and it will cost this patient only 4,000 shillings. At least even if the patient cannot afford, then EBAs can afford 4,000, but they cannot afford 120,000. So that is the greatest benefit of parallel importation. And we are very happy with the Pharmacy and Poisons Board, because they have stood with that concept as approved by Parliament, and they have resisted all attempts by big pharma to stop parallel importation. So parallel importation has its place. It has played its role, and we hope that it will continue to play its role as it has done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mukulia. We have quite a number of participants who have been with us. Before we move to the other gentleman, the other doctor, I would request anybody who has got any question to switch on mute their microphone. They can also put on their video so that we can have one or two questions. The other participants, this session is now open. This is a plenary now with Dr. Mukulia, then we move to the other gentleman. Thank you. Hello, anybody who has got anything you want to tell Dr. Mukulia?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. I think the best way to approach is you have people raise their hands and you can allow them. If you allow me, I can talk.
Okay.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, yes. Proceed.
Now, thank you very much for this symposium. I think the first thing I want to say is that we are we were supposed to discuss pharmacy and pharmacies and entrepreneurship. I don't agree particularly with the way the approach we have taken, but let me say that's fine. There are some issues I want to raise. Number one, we are talking about pharmacies as a business person, and you definitely raised issues about distributor retailer relationship. And here there are very many issues that need to be looked at. And the first one is the distributor is the only one who works like a bank, who lends money and gives you interest with the money. And this we have told the young pharmacists and the young doctors that this is the bank that gives you money, their money to use, and gives you interest on top. And what do we do with that money? The first problem is that are we ready as pharmacists when we are starting a business? How much do we know in terms of managing it? That issue needs to be looked at. The pharmacists are not ready. When they are starting, they are not ready to do business. So when they start business, they do it the wrong way. You are lent money, you buy products from the person who has lent you money. And then when you get that money, as you rightly said, they think it is theirs, and therefore they misuse it. So there's something about business management skills that needs to be addressed. So how does the distributor control the credit period? These are issues that need to be addressed, because you find that you have given a retailer 60 days, which you are straining to survive on, and they will pay you after 150 days. How do you survive in that kind of business? It is very difficult. And these are things that need to be looked at, and it can be streamlined slowly. And the third thing is sprawling of all kinds of businesses. So you find that a retailer would buy from Mr. X, company X now. When they can't pay, they will move to company B, then to company C, and then they go around. By the time they are coming back to company X, they have bills that they cannot pay for. So at the end of the day, the business becomes non-viable because they owe much more than they have, and then they start suffering. So there has to be something that is done to that aspect. So the preparedness of a pharmacist is very critical. Let me come to another issue. I know some of my colleagues will discuss this. When it comes to parallel import, what Dr. Mukuri has described is actually, in my opinion, not parallel import. It is illegal import. Parallel import would mean you bring in a product that of the same quality from a different source. But if you are going to bring a generic from another company, you simply register it and bring it. There should be no reason why it should not be brought, especially if it's going to benefit the end user. And I think that is what should be addressed. Are we actually having parallel imports, or we are having illegal imports? Those are issues that we should look at. And my final comment is that who is the beneficiary here? We have situations where the person who has put in some little money to start a business suffers because we are over competing amongst each other to the level that we spread ourselves thin and we can't survive. I think as a team we should address this and say, must we suffer to this extent? Those are my issues.
Well, thank you, Dr. Onyango, for those highlights. Probably I may request Dr. Mukuria very, very fast, to respond to those issues.
Yes, I am very happy to hear Dr. Simeon Onyango. Dr. Simeon was my school captain, my head boy in Mangu High School. So I owe him and I salute him. When he speaks, I keep quiet. Now, I will say something that Dr. Simeon should not be sucked into that to that argument that says that para importation is illegal importation, no, he should not. In fact, he's been in this industry for long and he understands it very well. And he should not call it illegal importation. He should call, and also he should not say he does not know who benefits. I've just described how we have benefited the oncology sector. It is a market that was underdeveloped, and now it is fully developed, and it is doing very well, courtesy of that provision. I think I wouldn't like to say beyond that. The benefits have been seen. Thank you. Yes, Dr. Murisho, can you come back?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mokuria, for that clarification. We still have another panelist, that is Dr. Koshora. And I would request Dr. Koshora to join in and make his presentation. Then towards the end of his presentation, the questions which you are doing, Dr. Mukuri and the others, you can combine them together because we have another 20-25 minutes to be on this session. Dr. Koshora, karibu sana. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kamamia. Good afternoon, members of the profession. First, I would like to answer one of the questions by Dr. Simeon Onyango about by businessmen. We have quite a lot of background noise. Hoping by businessmen from
Sorry, can I request the other participants to mute their mics?
Yes.
Yes, all the other participants, please mute your mics. Thank you.
Dr. Kamamia? Hello? Dr. Kuchara is muted.
So hii inaweza kuwa wapi ndio nijue? Oh, lakini sikiza, hii iko pamoja na standard dressing. So hii inaachana nayo, hiyo itabidi imetoka. Hiyo ni nini?
Can you hear me?
But standard dressing, the quantity is more.
Yes, we can hear you. Continue.
Okay. So
the issue 2965 pieces.
The issue of hoping by
Mr. Kamame, somebody is muting Dr. Kochola.
Hello, I'm trying to get the organizer, Mr. Gitau. Please, what's happening?
Doctor, he's unmuted. He's unmuted.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Excuse me, we have very many people who are unmuted. Please.
Let me mute them. Let me mute them.
So there's a lot of background noise, especially somebody near
let me
my
mute them.
page.
Okay, let me mute them. Let me mute them.
Okay. All right. So we can have an association for farmer distributors where they can set guidelines for business, how they engage with the retailers, how they engage with other distributors that source products from the stakeholders. I saw an earlier presentation about CAPI, and that's the way we should go. A forum where we can share even credit information about the stakeholders so that we help sieve the market from unscrupulous businessmen who cannot honor pledges of paying for credit facilities extended. I will seek the guidance of Dr. Kamamia if this is possible. It's actually an idea that can be conceived in a forum like this. Then over competition amongst ourselves, I think competition is very healthy. But also with a lot of networking, we can also look at ways of amalgamation, that is ways of different players or stakeholders in the industry coming together to amalgamate the small units that they own. Like you can find in a small perimeter area that you have like 50 retail pharmacies, which is kind of unsustainable, and you will find most of them struggling to maintain business. So with a lot of networking and engagement in several talk shops and forum, I think we can help sort out some of these issues that bedevil the profession. In this session, I have a presentation that targets new entrepreneurs and also young pharmacists, either still in school or just newly graduated, who would like to venture into this path of entrepreneurship. And Dr. I want to share screen. Oops.
Dr. Kochola, you can share your screen.
Okay.
There's somebody playing some music in the background, please.
Yes. Are we there? You can see my screen?
Dr. Gitao, give him rights to share the screen.
Are we there? This is a presentation about what really entrepreneurship is, and it's quite an inspiration of what really you need to get into this line. The industry, as my senior colleagues will agree with me, Dr. Kamamia, is very big, and there is space for everyone. We've seen colleagues who have ventured into various business models, not necessarily pharmaceutical business, but we have colleagues in academia who have started colleges. We have colleagues in logistics business and so on. So what really do we mean by entrepreneurship? As we all know, starting a business requires a lot of initiative and risk. The extent of initiative and risk involved in starting a business is what makes one to be called an entrepreneur. And this initiative all starts with having a higher ambition and a deeper commitment about what you want to do. there must be a dream at the beginning. And what drives this dream is rather the need from the front. Many of us, maybe in private employment or public employment, at some point or the other, before we started our businesses, we were dissatisfied with the way things are being done. And it is that drive that made us to make calculated risks towards starting a business. So there must be great ambition, and this ambition has to be coupled with a lot of intelligence and the desire to become successful. So the drive, there is a greater drive that at some point you call it gut reaction. The sixth sense. What is your gut brain telling you? So after you develop the gut reaction, then you need to condition yourself for readiness in starting a business. Because essentially some of the problems that we find ourselves as new entrepreneurs, like now we are talking about the issues whereby in the industry there are a lot of defaults where the retailers are hopping from one wholesaler to another when they cannot pay a particular wholesaler. Those are actually habits which with the proper plan before starting a business can be avoided. I know of colleagues who have actually closed shop because of that issue. So these habits, good habits, have to be developed into actions, and the actions molded together into a fine thought, a thought that can now become a business idea. So how do you get first then to start a business? Then you need people, okay? And when you have people and you understand the needs of the people, that will enable you to come up with an idea of what the people actually need. You can only know the needs of the people if you are out there, you keep your eye open, you network, you interact with a lot of people. And actually, you need to start from where you are. We've seen colleagues who started as from their group discussion in colleges, yeah. And we've seen also colleagues who have met people in their various places of work that they have joined hands and started great businesses. So you need to keep your eye open, not just in school, but also at workplaces. Some of the customers you meet at your workplaces could probably be your future business partners, could actually be the people to inject great business ideas into your path. That brings us to the whole issue about networking, and this cannot be emphasized enough. It's also in forum like this, about conferences, monthly meetings, weekly meetings, joining various business clubs, that you get to know people and you get to hear of great ideas, then find gaps in ways of coming up with original ideas to make you succeed in business. One of the reasons why we fail so early in business is because we don't have an original idea. We are copying an idea. We are copying our neighbor's idea. And we don't know really how the whole concept about our neighbor's idea. So networking helps you to get various ideas from various professionals, some so advanced in the profession. And they say in life, if you
hello, Dr. who is making the presentation? We cannot be able to see your presentation, please. Just open it. We cannot see it. We cannot see it.
It's actually being shared. I don't know why. Just can you see it now? Hello? Hello, Dr.
Hello, Bonagitao. Can you assist us? We are not seeing it. The presentation.
Well, you've not opened the presentation. Go back to the sharing screen and share the screen that your presentation is on.
Okay.
Oh, yes, kindly.
Are we there now?
Mr. Gitao?
Yes, we are there.
Okay.
Yeah? Are we there? Dr.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes, you're now visible.
Oh,
yeah,
great.
your presentation is visible now.
Oh, great. Thank you. We benefit a lot from networking. And what I tell people is don't stay in your houses. Keep meeting people. Keep meeting colleagues in the profession. Keep meeting people in health clubs, business clubs, in churches and jumuiyas. You will actually find great opportunities in meeting people. And when you meet people and you find a way of helping them do something, then actually you can conceive a great business idea. That cannot be overemphasized. So then as professions, we need to move from being, we need to move from being job seekers to become job creators. I've seen a situation where the earnings in the market is reducing. The earnings for pharmacies is reducing, is decreasing, because there is we have many pharmacists who are unemployed. But what do I tell our colleagues who are unemployed, who have difficulties finding jobs, is for the opportunities. You have immense opportunities in various ways. You can meet people, attend PSK monthly meetings, talk to these senior colleagues. You will find great ideas lying in those areas that can actually catapult you to a higher level. Don't actually give an excuse of there is no money. I don't have money now. Some of the networks we have, like in school, like the group discussion groups, the discussion groups in colleges, can actually be transitioned to business partnership, that we have opportunities during internship where each of us can save something small and we pull resources together. So there are various forms of entrepreneurship, business. Either you can provide a product, you can provide a service. There are shared resources. For example, you talk about, I'm not for the school of thought whereby we only confine ourselves to the pharmacy profession, but it is greater when we confine ourselves to the pharmacy profession, because then we build it and we make it stronger and shield it from non-professionals. So various forms of business. Greatest form of business is actually providing a service. When you provide a service in front, not just a product, when you provide a service, then the product gets readily accepted. And that's the challenge also we are facing as retailers, that we are stuck in the traditional model of giving out pills, giving out tablets, capsules to our customers without any advice, without any kind of personalized customer service. So when actually you transform what you offer people into a service, then you start seeing great changes in either what you want to start or in your business. You need a business plan, but at the beginning it may be difficult actually to configure the whole sense of a business plan, but a sketch of what problem do you want to solve by going into business, and what solutions do you have for that problem, will actually make you unique in the market, and consequently, when you are unique and providing an original service, then you get rewarded. You get rewarded for it. What's the magic of that business? What's so unique about your business model? What's the originality? Have you assembled marketing and sales? Because everything about business
revolves. We are running out of time. Probably we can give you another 5 minutes to summarize.
Yeah, 5 minutes it is.
Yes.
So, so for you to beat the competition, then you need to assemble actually marketing ideas and people to help you deliver your vision. That's a management team. You need to have financial projections, like where are you starting? Where are you headed? What are your turnovers? So that in your cash, you have a healthy cash flow. So then the whole idea is you have to start. You need to start. You need to start now. That cannot be overemphasized. And start with the little resources that are available. Start with a laptop in your car or in your house, and then if there is a recommendation I've provided later that I'll share regarding why you need to start now. So you need to assemble a company as you go along with the various structures of marketing, accounting, human resource, customer service, logistics, information technology, and various operations. As well, you need to configure your mind to the business. Configuring a mind to the business requires focus and the right concentration. That is explained in various spiritual books. There is a theory about eightfold path that you can read about later. So it provides you with the self-discipline that you require in running a business. When you inculcate self-discipline, then you escape a lot of problems like in instances where things are not running right, and then you start going for shortcuts for business. You need to be a leader and surround yourself with people who can help you in leading. That is very helpful. Then I have a book recommendation for entrepreneurs. It is actually a local book by the title, A Profile of Kenyan Entrepreneurs. And this where you will find a story of some two members of the profession, Dr. Bernard Otundo and the late Dr. Njoroge of Omaira. May his soul rest in peace. So you will find actually great ideas of humble beginnings of how these two pharmacies started something from scratch. And you all know about their story. You know about the story of Omaira Pharmaceuticals and their manufacturing unit. Thank you so much. I'll be here to respond to a few questions from the session.
Okay, thank you very much, Daktari, for because our time is basically coming to an end. I would request Mr. Gitau to allow the speakers who raise their hands to join us for this questions and answer session. So let's start with the questions and answer session. Anybody who has got a question or a comment, Mr. Gitau nominated, then allow them to speak. Thank you. So we are now taking questions and comments for this presentation, probably one or two for the earlier presentation. Thank you.
I can actually see a question there about why do 95% of startups fail in the first 5 years? Maybe Daktari, if you can give your insight on that.
Yeah, my name is Spencer Ocheng. And I think the point I was trying to make there is that many pharmacies open and do not succeed within 5 years. And it is not unique to the pharmacy practice. It is actually a universal thing for startups in general. And many people begin with a lot of enthusiasm, but many times they are not financially backed up, or maybe they're in the wrong location, or maybe they're not giving the time that is required. And I think a lot of it, in my view, having been around for quite a number of years and watched this happen, it involves a lot of enthusiasm, it involves the need for finance, it involves discipline, and now it's even harder with competition. So I think what I'm just trying to say here is that there are many factors that come into play for people who are in entrepreneurship, and we should be ready to put in a lot of long hours to succeed. And so I think mine is just to say, especially when it comes to financing, we need to really be open. There's the issues to do with banks. And I think Simeon Ochieng talked about earlier about how the distributors have offered credit. And this has been so important in helping pharmacies succeed. Because before the banks even want to talk to you, they want to see an established record of banking. And so I want to commend all those who have run distributorships, who have offered credit, and to retailers who have also managed those funds well, enough to be able to create a good rapport with their banks to help them grow, and are still there maybe after 10 years. So what I'm just saying is there's a lot of discipline and the will to succeed from anybody who opens any business, whether wholesale or even retail.
Okay, thank you. Any other question? Comment?
I think
Dr. Muricho, can I add something to what has just been commented on? Hello, Dr. Muricho, can I add something to what has been commented on? Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can
Yes,
hear
we can hear you.
Dr. Ochieng. We are hearing you. We can
Yes,
hear you,
now,
Dr. Ochieng.
Onyango. Now, let me just add that why young and very active colleagues have started businesses in a very enthusiastic manner and also failed in a short while is because of lack of preparedness. It is very critical that when you are starting a business, you prepare yourself a bit financially, psychologically, and in every aspect. I think lack of business knowledge is an issue here. They start, or we have all started, and we are not prepared to meet the challenges that are normally met at the beginning of the business. And somebody like Dr. Mukuri, I can tell you for sure, it is not easy. It is not easy for everybody. So it is hard. And that lack of preparedness in terms of what is expected, what roles each and every unit they have started with play is very important, and therefore we young people tend to rush because everybody tends to think that there's a lot of money in pharmaceutical business, especially retail, and when you go there, that lack of preparedness and lack of skills for managing finances becomes an issue, and therefore we should look into ways of looking for certain firms that can help these young people. I actually give consultants to some firms that can actually give them a roadmap. Now, if you want to start a business, they give you a roadmap and they can assist you in the long way, because the banks will only give you money if you have money. You must be having money in one form or the other for them to give you their money. But our distributors have been very, very, very useful to young people. It's only that with time, they are becoming very skeptical about supporting young people and young starters because of the consequences that they have seen. So lack of preparedness and readiness is an issue.
Very true, Dr. Simeon. Preparation is very important. And with the little resources that one has at their disposal, they should actually plan financially for a particular time period, either annually or 3 years projection, about how they are going to utilize the resources that they have and the resources that they receive. So very good insight, and financial planning is very important. It's not taught, I don't think it is taught anywhere in the School of Pharmacy, but it starts way back with the way you spend your finances, the way you budget for your shopping and such. Thank you.
Okay, we are going to have one more or two comments. So anybody else with a question or a comment, please raise up your hand.
Dr. Stacy Muriuki on the chat is asking about what other businesses can one venture into. We have colleagues who have actually ventured into academia. Dr. Kipkech is one inspiration in that line. With a very big institution in Eldoret. So there are various business models. I think but what is underlying all of them is the need for preparedness and financial planning.
Okay, Dr. Mukuria, would you mind to summarize for us? Do you have anything to add on what you said? And also from what Dr. Sheng has mentioned. You give us the experience and the discipline that is required in this. Oh, seems you have lost Dr. Mukuria.
Hello, hello.
Oh, okay, Dr. Mukuria, proceed.
Can you hear me? Yes, I would like, let me just make one or two comments. Indeed, it is true that for every upcoming entrepreneur, and even for the ones who have been there for long, the issue of preparedness is a must, that in whatever we are doing, we must have that state of preparedness. The other thing is financial discipline. Financial discipline from the onset and even moving forward. Because we realize that you may find some people are very disciplined financially at the beginning of their businesses, but somewhere along the way, they start losing the way. That is that is one of the causes of the collapse, because sometimes you do not understand why a business grows so fast. In 5 years, it is doing very well, and you come to the 7th year and the business is no longer there. The other one is you asked the question of controls, and yeah, controls are critical, because as the farm grows, the more the controls are required. You know, when this business is small, it's like when you have a tree, you are able to hold the tree all around by yourself. But that, as a tree grows wider and wider, you cannot hold all of it, and you need strong support. Actually, it is when your business overgrows, that is where the greatest risk is. That is where failure actually starts. So it's also important that as businesses grow, we also assess our support systems, whether they are still up to it. With that, I think I should like to say thank you very much for all those who have listened, and thank you very much. I've had Dr. Simeon Onyango once more. Your contribution, it is very good, and indeed, let us those of us who are getting credit from distributors, always remember these are like your parents. They are the ones who have brought you up. You should never let you down. You should never let them down.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mukuria.
Yeah,
and also Dr. Koshora for such a centralizing presentation. Dr. Onyango, thank you for giving us your experience. We do not take that for granted. You have been in this sector for very, very many years. Gitao, thank you very much for hosting us in this session. And with that, I think we can bring this session to a close. But also remember, Kenya Pharmaceutical Distributors Association is there. And you are free to contact us at any time. We can join together for those concerns you have been raised, like doing a credit vetting for everybody. Others, thank you very much. Continue enjoying the other remaining sessions. Have a good afternoon. And if you don't talk again this year, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Grace Miti.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Today I can't see you.
I also don't know what is happening, and I mean, just hold on. Let me see.
My camera is also bad.
Oh, sure, eh?
Yeah.
But I'm happy to know you're there and listening.
Yeah, I saw Munyu also.
Oh, Munyu is also there.
Munyu is somewhere. Those are classmates talking. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Munyu.
This is Jaden.
Oh, Jaden. Put your photo there. Wacha toa mnyama. Umeweka mnyama. Umeweka mnyama. Lovely. That is nice.
Korea, you owe me a cup of tea.
Oh, yes, I do. Hope we can meet soon.
Sawa.
You know, you are my boss. Always, once a boss, always a boss.
Yeah, and
we'll have a cup of tea.
Thank you.
Mombasa has missed your business. All of you would have been here. That's Jaden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Long time. Sorry, my camera is not working.
Say hi to Job.
I will. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yes, Jaden. Okay. Anthony.
Yeah.
I guess this is the end of today's sessions.
Just a question.
Yes.
How frequently is the Kenya Pharmaceutical Distributors Association meetings held, and where?
The chairman should answer the question. Where is he there?
I think he has left. He has had enough.
Okay.
All the best. Keep safe, everyone.
Sama, thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.